topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
To Triversity Talk. I'm Wendy Stewart. Happy to be here with you on Wednesday, hump day, and it was like summer today. No, I'm exaggerating, but it was in the 30s. I'm coming to you from New York City, and Triversity, of course, is based in Milford, Pennsylvania. We have a really wonderful center there. Please drop in and visit. We have open hours, and as we get into the warmer months, we'll have more events going on. So come to Triversity Center in Milford, Pennsylvania. So I'm in New York City during the week, and something happened this week that I do have to discuss. The rainbow flag was removed from Stonewall National Monument by the current administration. That is huge. There was no reason to do this act. It was strictly done to provoke and divide, and that is exactly what it's doing. So last night there was a big rally, and it was very new news to a lot of people. My amazing friend Stephen Love Menendez is the person that always puts all the little flags around the park, and he has certainly taken care of everything that goes on there. He was out of town when this happened. Of course, everybody rose to the occasion. Tomorrow night, if you are in the New York area, there is a huge rally with every New York politician going to be there. Rally starts at 4, ends at 7 o'clock. I have no idea what to tell you to expect, but if you want to come and show your support, this is a frontal attack on the LGBTQ community, and certainly Stonewall, which has a huge place in LGBTQ history. This should not be happening. So on another note, my guest tonight, whenever I'm doing a Triversity Talk Revisit, I always have her on because she's always working on creative projects. She's an amazing musician. She's an incredible member of the trans community. What a lyricist, songwriter, and just a very cool person who landed in New York City from San Francisco. Why am I not surprised, right? San Francisco is incredible. But you know what? At the end of the day, everybody finds their way to New York. So her latest project is she released the tracks for her new musical called Girl Shock, which we had a limited production of at Pangea to familiarize people with all the new music that Maria Konner has written with her collaborator, the amazing Jackson Sturkey. And right now she's writing the script for Girl Shock, and everything that's going to happen is going to happen in the next couple of months. We're very excited. Please welcome Maria Konner, author of Girl Shock the book and Girl Shock.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's right. I'm girl shocked.
You are girl shocked.
Every day I'm shocked, and some days I'm girl shocked also.
Right. Well, that's great. And I'm looking at you tonight, and you're definitely girl shocked, right?
I'm going to a Valentine's Day sort of celebration with a bunch of trans women in the Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, tonight. How fast? That's really great. Well, thank you for taking time out to do the show. And I think I probably know a lot of the trans women you're going with. So please give my crew a shout out. Okay.
Will do.
So, Maria, very excited for the musical coming out. We got a taste of it at Pangea, and that was That was what, November or December?
It was the middle of November.
Middle of November when you.
Yes, and the soundtrack had just come out because we finished the tracks at the beginning of September, and I had to master it myself. Look it up online. That took me like 4 weeks. Yeah.
No, but it's the fact that you know how to do all of that, which is you have a tech background, and it's wonderful to see it towards you're using it for these projects, right?
Well, I have a tech background and an audio background, but I did have an AI helper. The operative word here is helper. I didn't let AI write anything or do anything. I had the AI helper for the mastering, the audio, stuff, waveforms.
So I didn't even realize, because you're probably more far advanced than I am with AI. I'm on ChatGPT, and that takes care of me good. But how do you get an AI helper?
Oh, it was ChatGPT. But you ask it questions, it gives you answers. You don't quite understand.
That's exactly what I've been doing.
It's like having an expert sitting right there. Again, I think AI is kind of like this. I'm kind of for it, but you got to be careful. Kind of like same way I feel about fire or nuclear energy. Be careful.
Okay, well, fire and nuclear energy, that's really extreme. I'm going to tell you what I love about AI.
Yeah,
you probably used it to help you frame what you wanted to communicate in your musical. That
actually, no, I didn't.
You didn't have to use it for a road to go down.
The only thing I used AI for was I wanted to explain to Jackson, my musical partner in the musical, if I were to write literally the only part that the AI did was I said, if I were to write a 1-sentence summary like Shakespeare, what is Hamlet about? It's about a guy who gets upset and kills his ex-wife or whatever.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Like, how do you say it in one line? So I had AI come up. I explained the story, and AI, give me this in one line. And I looked at it, and I looked at Jackson. I'm like, well, we'll take that idea and that idea, but we're going to write our own line. And that was it.
Right, but you can't deny that it gives you direction. When I use it, I tell it what I want to say that's kind of stuck in my head, and
that's good. Yeah.
And then it gets back to me with like a couple of choices, and usually one of them takes me on the path I need to be on for what I want.
Yeah. It's like chatting with somebody, brainstorming with somebody.
It's so great, but it's so great. Google couldn't do that for us. Google was like the
no.
Botanica.
But when it came to recording the music, so what we just finished the soundtrack for the musical, because a lot of musicals, like I think one was Jesus Christ Superstar, the album came out first. So if the music sucks, then what's the point in writing a musical, right? So we wanted to really record the track. So I was gonna do it electronically, but with the drum, electronic, the beat, what do you call it, a click track and all that. And I'm talking to Omar, the producer, co-producer, and trumpet horn player. We said, something, fuck it, we're gonna hire a live band. I'm going to sit here with my piano, my grand piano sitting right there, and we're going to record 24 songs in 3 days. I hired these ace, and these guys had 1 hour to learn each song, jam out on it, get the groove, and record 3 takes.
And you did it.
Yeah, and then I overdubbed electric guitar, and and Omar put a whole horn section in there. He did a fantastic job. And then Jackson did the vocals, and I did the vocals. We have some backup singers. We have some other singers. Like one of my favorite songs is a duet between a man and a woman. And I know these two cats down at Don't Tell Mamas, and they always sing together. And I said, hey, you want to sing on this? And like, wow, listen.
They were so happy that you offered the opportunity, right?
What's that?
They were happy that you offered the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and for me, it was the opportunity to have these just stellar singers singing a song that I wrote with Jackson. Yeah.
So from when you did the book, because when I met you, the book had come out, and from when you just the beginning of starting the musical to where you're at now, how much time are we talking?
When I started the musical, I probably started it about 4 years ago, maybe 3.5. I really started working on it with like Jackson in earnest, because what happened was when I moved, right before I moved here, I wasn't planning on moving to New York, but I had one of these rock star weeks where I was like, first night I show up at Cub Cummings, and then like half an hour later I'm up playing piano. I'm like, people.
No, I know it was, but that's how it happens for people here. It's like it's a magical thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I met Jackson the next night, and then he bought my book on the spot, because I was performing at a show, and then he got really into it. So when I moved here, just not quite 4 years ago, he and I started meeting every week, and we started writing the music.
Amazing story.
Yeah. And so we probably wrote all the music within, most of it within the first year. But
Wow.
we just and then I was working on other projects and everything, so we could have squeezed it into like 2 years, but just the process of recording it and then getting all the singers and trying out overdubs of
Yeah, there's
doing
like
it.
a lot of songs and they're all really great. I mean, I'm
Thank you.
amazed. You've really done this in record-breaking speed,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. It was and now we're writing the script, right? So the idea was is to have to put it on at a theater, right? We all have the dreams. Hey, I want to make it to off Broadway or Broadway and everything.
Yeah, of
But
course you want to do that.
I want to quit my job and I'm a tech. I work in tech. I'm a tech executive. That's a whole nother thing. But
That is a whole other thing. And
they
I
pay
always
me
tell
well.
you,
That's all that matters.
don't quit your day job so quickly, really.
Exactly. Plus, they need a mind of a trans woman in order to solve their complicated problems. But
Right.
anyway, I digress. So we said, oh, well, how am I going to get this into a theater? And I started talking to theaters. And I was hoping they would help us finish up the script. And a lot of them were like, no, you pretty much need to finish the script yourself. I'm like, okay. So we're just we're going over it now. We're hopefully, I don't know how long it's going to take, a few months, but we're at the really fun process of the character arcs. I did a lot of research. I read a book.
Yeah, like, how do you know how to write it? Did you take script writing? Did Jackson take script writing? How do you know how to write? I would not know how to do that.
Yeah. So the best knowledge comes from absorbing it from multiple sources, right? So I've done a lot of writing myself. Jackson's done a lot of writing himself. But then I had a friend who introduced me to a book, and I can't remember the name of the book. My friend Pam introduced me to a book from some author who's like a famous playwright, talking about things like character arc and storyline. Then
How to write a script.
Yeah, how to write a script.
Scripts for dummies, right?
And I always and I always start with the storyline first. I'm kind of like write the script last, write the words, the dialogue last.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And it turns out I was spot on about that one. But I from a variety of sources. And I came up with this sort of scheme to always make sure that the storyline is interesting. You have a villain. I mean, my story is basically a superhero story, right?
Sure.
There's a villain.
Well, you know what? All your marketing stuff is superhero. The cartoon illustration that you use, everything about it is what you'd see in a superhero comic.
Exactly. And my life really is a superhero life. I mean, basically, if you look at just think about the story arc. My story arc is an arc that is really my arc, but it fits in a superhero, sort of genre,
Right.
because I think that everybody has the power to be their own superhero. I really do. I mean, there's a few songs about that, right? So, and the arc is basically, 3 phases, right? Phase 1 is you're a kid who wants to, like me, I wanted to be a combination of Mr. Spock, Captain Kirk, Batman, and Ozzy Osbourne. You know what I mean?
Hold on, there was no female character in there?
No, I wasn't trans at all. No.
Wow.
No.
I'm just surprised that there wasn't even an inkling of a female superhero.
I love trans people. I met my first, I think you know this, I met my first trans woman in London when I was 10 years old, because I lived overseas. I lived in London for a while and then in Africa.
Yeah.
My father ran safaris. And when I saw my first trans woman, I was just like, girl, good for you. Good for you. Like that to me, I thought it was just smoking hot. It was powerful, that kind of thing. But I never had any interest, really. I mean, I really like trans people. I like people who are kind of strange or odd. My father was like that. He would go to the strangest person in the room and start talking to them. He's an entertainer.
Right, because we call that curiosity.
Yeah, he just loved people who were strange.
Right.
And
I'm the same way, but you have a lot of, you're very much immersed in a trans group.
Yeah, I am.
Girls, those girls are fun, and in the group that I'm talking about, and you know what? That's really they're so great and they're so fun. Who would with them?
Oh yeah, it was great, and it's always great hanging out with groups of trans women. When I first started going out, 2006, I met a group there, and there were a lot of girls similar to this one would come in and get transformed. So you'd have girls that never went out before. So you were cracking their egg, But anyway, back to my story. So
yes, back to your story.
3 phases. You're this young kid, like I said, I want to be a combination of Mr. Spock, Batman, Ozzy Osbourne, and Captain Kirk, right?
Yes.
But then, you're a kid, and then you have these dreams, and that's kind of what the musical's about. You know, Jackson is playing me as a young man,
The dude.
right?
Jackson plays
The
you as
dude,
a dude. Yeah.
you know, somebody who was very romantic and very, you know, musician and believe, right? But then you get to the second phase. You enter the world, the working world, the adult world, and you just get pounded and ignored, and just, you know, you realize the great nemesis is basically today what you would call in shitification, right? It was
I like
basically
that word.
just shallow behavior, you know, glitz, like nobody cares what you're like. They care. It's all fashion. I love fashion, but if that's all it is,
Well,
or if
it's
the way
superficial. It's superficial. You're talking about this
superficiality.
superficiality. Yeah.
Yeah. I love fashion, but I like a smart woman or a smart model, somebody who's, you know, who talks, who actually entices you with their mind as well as their look.
Of course.
Like somebody who's got it all. You know, like, you know, think about the Beatles. They had it all.
They had
right?
it all. So you like
You
the
know,
whole package. You look for the whole package.
Yeah, and you think about any supermodel who is really smart, you know, maybe Cindy Crawford or whatever, who's, you know, got a strong personality. I may be aging myself, but you get the idea,
But
right?
there's a ton of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so the people that have it all, the ones that have that external part, but also have the internal part, like the Beatles or Cindy Crawford, I didn't have that because I didn't know about that external part. I was just a dude, right?
Right.
So I'm getting, you know, and I did fine with work and everything, but dating and just social life, just everything, it was just, I didn't have any power. I had power working in tech because I know how to do that, right? And then when you get, and a lot of us live our lives like that, we feel invisible. People, that little boy in phase one, that young man is still there, right?
Do you
And
think a lot of
still wants.
Do you think a lot of cisgender men live in that world of being invisible?
Oh yes, oh yeah, oh yes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. And a lot of cisgender women too. When I did my show, it's amazing how many women came to me. You know, beautiful women I've known for years. Even women are just like, get any guy they want. I feel so invisible. I totally relate to that. I'm like, really? Like, you know, like, wow. It's pretty obvious that they don't see the real me. They see this beautiful woman.
Right.
Right. And for me, they don't see me at all when I'm a dude. Right. So I felt, you know, just sort of, I didn't have the power I had on the inside, the power I had on the outside were mismatched. How many of us feel that way?
That
So
is very well put, by the way. Very well.
Thank you. And to me, all of us have that in common. That same phase one, that same phase two. How we get out of it to
It's a
phase
whole other
three
thing.
is very unique to each of us. In
Right.
my particular case, I became a woman. Right?
You told me the first time you put on women's clothes, you felt incredibly powerful and you got so much attention. It was you felt as a dude, you never got any attention.
Yeah, and it was just a Halloween thing. It was just, you know, what happened was I was married to a woman. My wife and I did it for Halloween the year before, and we ended up going to some lane party. It was like an AA party, and everybody was gone. But AA thing is great. It's great, but just, you know, my expectations weren't really set. So so then I said, next year I'll do it. We got divorced. I decided to go out as Maria. But, you know, to me, I don't just do something half-ass. If I'm going to go out for Halloween, I got to start in early September.
Right.
So I can learn the ropes, learn how to do the makeup, blah, blah, blah. I just left my wife and just had a completely epic time that I just don't have time to go over right now because I think we did it in our last interview. But
it was, I know it was amazing. And you know, all of these things are in your book and now your musical. These are your life experiences.
Yes. So, and I wrote that's basically in the musical, right? And my book's about it. But when you're in this phase three, the idea is suddenly you find this power, right? And then you begin to realize that the inside of who you think you are and the outside of who people can see start to come together, right? You start to sort of reach out to your younger self, or you evolve in some ways. And I think what happens is maybe at first they're this apart, and we all both start changing. And that's what the last act is about. And the very last song, probably my favorite song in the collection, is a song called "You Are Me," where Jackson commanded me to have a happy ending.
Right. Jackson. I love Jackson because Jackson is about happy endings.
Happy ending. I kind of wanted it, and we were talking about this concept of "You Are Me." Just think about, you know, Bruce Wayne and Batman are the same person, but are they? You know, me and the dude are the same person, but are we? We
But
are, of
yeah, they
course.
are,
But
because what you're talking about is two components that make up a human being, and that can very
yeah,
well be. There
the
are people that are that.
the inside and the outside. No, and the thing is, nobody will ever really know the dude compared to Maria. You don't.
No.
Very few people. You met him, didn't you?
I was, so I had dinner with the
Did
dude,
you?
and
Yes.
it was kind of a crazy conversation. You were talking about where you were going to go to meet women. I
Yeah.
think you said a synagogue, and I think I said to you, "Oh, Maria, you can't do that."
I just thought it would be fun to try. I tried it, and I
But
just
it's
wasn't
not
like
fun though for the other person, Maria.
for the other person.
Right? It
For
won't be fun for the other person because that other person, you are a very complex individual. You don't need me to tell you that. Your
oh,
music
they're
is,
that part of it. Yeah.
yeah,
To me,
your head is really, really complex. Your music reflects your brain, your left brain, right brain. You have it all going on, and when you put it up on stage, it is a fabulous thing. But
thank
I
you.
don't think it's such a great thing to date as a guy. I'm
Yeah, and
just
the thing
telling
is,
you.
and
As a
and
girl, I'm just telling you that.
yeah, I agree. The thing to my musical has the 7 stages of a superhero. Every
Love it.
superhero has these 7 things, and one of them is unrequited love.
Yeah. So what are
Right?
the 7 stages of superhero? Please share that with us.
Let me see if I can remember them all. Every superhero has to have these 7 things, like a real superhero. Number 1, they have to have a backstory, right? Right. Number 2, they have to have a superpower that's unique to them. Number 3, they have to have a secret identity, right? Then they have to make sure I'm counting this right. Then they have to have a nemesis, not a
Yeah.
villain, a nemesis, somebody who's around for a long period of time. Then they have unrequited love. Then they have a weakness.
Wow.
And am I missing anything? Oh, and the
Oh,
last one
we need
is
one more, Maria. We have one more to go.
spandex or tights.
Yeah?
Nylons, tights, spandex. They have to be
Spandex.
sexy.
Yes. Lycra. Yes.
Okay, you get it?
There you go.
So imagine this. Mark, the dude, goes into one of these temples thinking, I'm going to tear this place up. He's thinking like Maria. Without the Maria, that's like Bruce
No,
Wayne.
you're Mark when you go in there. You're not Maria.
Yeah, it's like Bruce Wayne confronting the Joker. I mean, every once in a while, Bruce Wayne.
Oh, that would be wow. Wouldn't we want to see that? That's
Yeah,
like
but Bruce Wayne
fabulous.
can't fight the Joker, right?
Yeah.
He can't. He's standing there. He can't fight the Joker.
Right.
He's not Batman. So then the problem is I go in there and I'm trying to network with people and I'm just another dude to them, right? So I don't want to go through the effort to have to try to attract people as the dude. What's the point?
Yeah. Well, I think I agree with you on that.
I
But
just go through the
I'm
energy.
sorry, dude. Why
What's that?
would you have to have an effort? There are people that would say, well, what's the effort? I can just attract people.
I don't think anybody who has never been trans like me or drag queen
Yeah.
can fully. Let me try to explain to you how this feels.
Absolutely. Tell me.
Right.
And our
So
audience.
can understand the difference between being a man and being a woman, or at least being a trans woman and a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me give you an example of something. Like, so a few years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, I went to Puerto Vallarta, right in the whatever. Brought Maria in the bag, and I was there for a week. And for the first 2 days, I was just hanging around. I was just the dude. I literally didn't talk to anybody the entire time, except the waiter.
Right.
It wasn't like I wasn't like trying not to, but just I'm just a dude walking around. Like if I wanted to talk to people, I'd have to go out of my way and make an effort.
And you didn't want to do that as the dude.
I was just on vacation mode. I didn't really care.
Okay.
It didn't even cross my mind. I was happy to, but the thing is, being invisible, having people leave you alone, there's no effort when you're a man because that's the way it is. You have to go way out of your way and if you even try to get people to talk to you, it's very unlikely that they're going to engage with you.
It's unlikely.
Unless you're sitting at a bar and they're literally sitting right next to you. It's just
And
very hard. It's very hard. So like on the 3rd night, I changed into Maria and I'm still in dude mode. I walk out into the hotel room, dressed up into the lobby of the hotel. And I'm passing the same concierge, the same people I'd passed before. And all of a sudden, all these people want to talk to me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I
And you loved
forgot
it.
that I was
You loved
Maria.
it. You
I was
loved
like,
it.
all of a sudden, like, oh, right. And I'm out on the street. People want to say hello. I got guys hitting them. I literally, and let me give you another example. I was handing away flyers for a show I was doing as Maria at the Castro Street Fair in San Francisco. I had a whole stack, 500 of them, and they were gone within like 45 minutes. Oh my God, you're beautiful.
Maria. Right.
Exactly a year later, I did exactly the same thing for exactly the same show at the Castro Street Fair. I didn't have time to dress up as Maria, and I foolishly did it as Mark. I couldn't give away even one of them.
I think that is a really, really good point.
I rest my case.
Right.
So that's my secret power. Right. So
but now that you're describing that, I'm wondering about other dudes, you know, is it the female thing? Is it the shiny coin? Is it the bigger than life, right? Huge boobs, really full hair, false eyelashes. Is that what it is? Is it that exterior, the shiny penny that will attract somebody?
Here's the thing about you know, being like a tech person. I analyze complex problems. You know what the answer to your question is?
Yeah.
Yes. Every single person. All of those things you mentioned appeal to different people in different combinations.
Right.
So I basically am like almost like a quantum computer. The whole idea being that I don't know what the answer is, but I'm just going to throw up every possibility and see what happens. Right? And the ones that strengthen, that generate results, that's the path I'm going down.
I hear you.
Right. So when I'm Maria, every single thing you said is true. And it's sitting there, when you sit there, and the whole idea behind the last song in the musical. So Jackson commanded me to write the final song where we come together, write a song called You Are Me. I'm sitting there at the piano, and I have no idea what I'm going to write. And sometimes it takes weeks to write a song, and it sucks.
That's a tough subject, though. You Are Me. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah. So I sat there, and I just started doing one of my favorite chords, which is a C613 jazz chord. And I started playing it. And then long story short, I wrote the song with the lyrics in about, I don't know, 20 minutes. Right. And I'm like, you know something?
Amazing.
I really like this song. And then it sounded a little, it was like just a little bit sappy. So I played it like for another week, and I got a better groove. And I played it for Jackson, expecting him to say, well, we'll change half the lyrics. And he goes, it's perfect the way it is. He added a middle section, right?
Right.
He sang, right? But the rest of it, and I'm sitting there going, you know something? This song is kind of making me cry.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I really, and it's a beautiful song. And then at first it was pretty fast. And then my producer, Omar, when we recorded it, he said, you know, you need to play the song slower. I'm like, no, I'm not playing it slower. It's not meant to be slow. And he goes, you got to play it slower, got to play it. Then finally he said to me, if you don't play it slower, I quit. You know, you're going to have to fire me. You're going to have to fire me, whatever it was he said. And I said, I'm not going to fire you. He goes, then play it slower. And I'm like, all right.
You played it slower.
I played it slower. I'm like, holy shit, that sounds so fucking good. Because he, as a saxophone player and trumpet player, knew that song needed space to put in. And he put in this sax stuff that is the first take. There were no overdubs. And I'm sitting there. I was like, holy shit, this fucking song is I don't even know how to describe it. It was so beautiful, romantic, and it really is a love affair to yourself. It really is sort of like the masculine side, the feminine side, the adult, and the child.
I love the title of it. I love that it's masculine and feminine. I did hear the song.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song, but you know what? I'm going to compliment you that you were open enough. I know you work with Jackson, but you were open enough to let Omar jump in.
Yeah.
You listen, right? You're right. He plays the sax. You don't. He does.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, as an artist, I've learned working with producers and playing for other people. is to be extremely open to other people's ideas.
You have to push your own ego out of the way. And
Oh,
Maria,
yeah.
a lot of artists can't do that. I think that that's why you really, really made treads in what you're doing, because you understand how important collaboration is.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to enjoy it too. Like you become really good at something when you actually enjoy it, right? You want me to tell you something dirty, or should I avoid the?
You
dirty
know,
stuff?
you can say, but yes, you can. But is it super dirty?
Well,
How dirty is it?
I won't put any. I'll keep the sordid details.
Okay, yeah, that's what I would say. Just keep it kind of general and leave the sordid details out, because I always have to check off a thing for iHeartRadio that says, "Is this segment okay for children?" And
this is simple. This is a really quick one.
Right. Okay.
I was asked by several people, by women in particular, what's the key to giving a great blowjob?
Okay.
And I said, you have to really enjoy it.
And there you go.
That's it.
Why
if you
don't
can't,
you get t-shirts made up that say that and put them on your website?
Yeah, you have to. And the same thing with collaboration in music. You know, if I write a song and somebody has another idea for it, well, shit, yeah, let's try it, because I'm going to enjoy. They're putting their energy into something that I wrote.
Sure.
Let's see what happens. It's like having sex. It's better. It's the difference between sex and masturbation. Like when I play piano, I love playing with bass players. If I could only have one other instrument on a desert island and my grand piano, it's a toss up between the bass player and the saxophone player. It's a really tough decision, but
that is really tough, because I've seen you perform with both.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the bass player, as much as I love the sax with the riffs, because the bass player changes the way you play. Because
so I wouldn't know this. Explain to me what you feel when you hear the bass and you're at the piano.
So if I'm playing the piano, say at a piano bar, this is me, and somebody else is singing or I'm singing, I'm driving the rhythm of it. I am playing a lot of bass notes, and I'm filling them in with my right notes. I'm doing leads, and I'm doing a very honky tonk thing. Sometimes I really used to play a lot of ragtime, but I'm a top. I'm masturbating. I'm a top. I'm pounding into somebody, right? You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm driving. When you play with the bass player, I start off driving. The bass player comes in, and then I trust usually when I first start playing with the bass player, all right, he or she knows what they're doing, and I start to release. And I wait, and I let them drive, and I could take my left hand and move it up to more of a chord position, and I can fill in the spaces, right, and do more leads, and I'm a bottom.
Well, because you're allowing the collaboration to happen at that point.
Yeah, and then I may draw, and then sometimes when I'm playing with a singer, I will literally just build up tension. You know, it really is like having sex.
I'm telling you, you need to be putting this on T-shirts. You sell them on your website.
Yeah. Because
the Girl Shock image, the cartoon character of you on that T-shirt. I'm telling you, Maria, people would buy these. You know what I want to do?
I'm going to look at this and write it down. Yeah.
Yes, you can write it down while I run your video. How does that sound?
Sounds good. I'm going to write it down right now.
Sounds like a plan. Okay. Girl Shock.
Great.
Let's do it.
Life just kept getting better and better and better. I was girl shocked. Girl shocked. Girl shocked. Tired of being alone. And when I go out in the city, I'm feeling really lonely. Mine just like get any better than this. Girl shock. Now I'm getting away all the time. Girl shock, and I don't know. But hey, yeah, I'm on our own. I'm getting dizzy going back and forth. I gotta keep him around so I can afford to be Girl Shock. I love it so much, I just can't let go. Girl Shock. It's so absurd that they dislike him so. And when I go out in the rain, feeling really pretty, it looks a little bit pretty, but she's there, bringing people to this Girl Shock. It takes no wrong again. Girl Shock, go on, baby. And when we go out in the city, feeling like a kitty, yeah, I'm getting so dizzy. It can't get any better than this Girl Shock.
Girl
Thank
Shock.
you. Thank you. Yeah. And the idea behind that song is that life just keeps getting better and better and better. Oh my God, I can't believe I went out as a girl and I partied with all these people and I got free drinks. Life can't get any better than this. The next night, it's like, oh my God, I got laid this really easily. Life can't get any better. So
Yeah, because everything is great for you as a girl.
Yeah, and compared to being a boy, the only benefit to being a boy is,
Tell me.
is that it's easier to make money.
Yeah.
Like working in tech.
You know what, Maria? That's a biggie. I would cut off my arm to be able to get that.
Yeah, and also sometimes you want to be invisible. So the truth is, and here's the sort of the dilemma of being like a trans woman such as myself, part-time or a superhero kind of mode. Which is really
wait, I'm back it up a little bit. A trans superhero, part-time trans superhero. Is that what you said?
That's kind of what I am. It's just the truth because I got the opportunity of interviewing one of the most wonderful people I have ever met, Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's.
I love Jane Weedland.
Oh my God. I've never met somebody who you meet her and she just glows with positive energy.
Right.
And I'm sitting next to her and I said to her, Jane, my last question, what does rock and roll mean to you? I've always wanted to ask a rock star this. What does it mean to you? She goes, oh, nobody's ever asked me that one before. I go, that's a great question. And she goes, I have the power to make people happy.
Oh, love it.
I'm like, you're right. And that's the way that I feel. And I think anybody can do this. If you do something that people say, what's the secret to being a great entertainer or whatever? You are giving a good blowjob. You have to love what you do and have a great time.
Yeah, exactly.
I can literally just dress up as a girl anytime I want, go out in New York and often be dragged up to the piano and have fun and engage with people. And especially if I go to like more of a touristy place, like Don't Tell Mama. I love going to Don't Tell Mama.
Oh, yeah, that's a great venue for you.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, it's kind of cheeseball. They always play the same music. So many tourists here. But then after a while, you're like, well, these tourists have never met somebody like me.
No, they haven't. And you bring a smile to their face.
Yeah.
Very passionate on stage, Maria. And, you communicate that with people. They want to come along for the party. You make them believe that the party can happen. And that's what a great entertainer can do.
Thank you. And the thing is, like, when I played the piano as a kid, to me, the piano was an instrument where I could talk to the universe. If I felt sad, if I felt happy, if I wanted to be inspired. I mean, my parents had a 1947 Steinway, so I was privileged in that sense.
But really were.
To have an instrument as a fine craft instrument crafted by people by hand, to have a channel into the universe. To me, the piano was always about how to express yourself.
Right.
The notes, to me, learning the piano was very right brain, left brain. You learn the notes and whatever. But when you can master something where you know it so well that the other side of your brain is running the show. I mean, like I'm just completely, when I'm playing, I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing.
Right. You can just do it.
I just do it. Right. Yeah. So when you can command something, and that to me, so when the superhero is sort of like, when you're able to command life that way, when you're able to just be and be happy, you could channel really incredible things. And the amazing, one of the most amazing things of being an entertainer is, I can't tell you the number of times people said to me, is your name Maria? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, like one of them was, my grandmother was visiting from Ireland 2 years ago, and she's been talking, and she was a very Christian woman, met you, went home to Ireland, and was talking about you for 2 years.
I love it. A good Christian woman
Like,
went back
talking about me?
and she's like, was talking about.
Yes, I met this trans woman, and then she had just passed away like the week before, and he's like, she wanted to give you some of her clothes, and I just ran into you. I'm like, you're kidding me. And then he and like that kind of thing happens.
Oh my God, that's that kismet kind of thing. But that's when you are, here's what I know about you. When you're Maria, and that's your happy place. You are bigger than life there. I guess I constantly wonder, because you are brilliant technically. And I don't mean that you do computer things. I mean, you have a tech brain. By the way, I know this. There's a lot of trans people that are in the tech world on a high level. You know that, right?
I am, yeah, and I am an engineer.
Right.
Well, now the engineers do what I tell them to do.
Right. But somewhere in here, there's to me, and I don't know what it is, there is a connection to transgender and tech. And yes, it is. I don't know whether it's a highly evolved brain. I don't know whether it's a left brain, right brain thing.
Left brain, right brain.
It is a left brain, right?
I think so.
Thing. So how do you, like when you're at work and you have to be the dude? You know, and I always tell you, I love you as Maria. I would hate working for Mark. How do you like?
Well, you might. What's that? How do I what?
How do you like deal with being the dude at work? I mean, do you feel okay? Is that a role you're playing, or can
I feel perfectly fine. I feel perfectly fine being the dude.
Perfectly fine. Okay.
It doesn't bother me. I actually like being the dude. Right. The thing is, first of all, I work at home. I'm 99% remote. The cameras are never on. So sometimes I'm actually Maria.
Oh my God, I love that even better. That's great.
What mood I'm in. Sometimes I just, most of the time I'm not. And really what it is that I'm a tech executive. I'm in charge of cybersecurity and AI for a $2 billion division of a very large tech company that you have definitely heard of. Right. And, it is I don't work that many hours, but those hours are like doing battle constantly.
Yeah.
Because my job is to go in there and make sure people are doing the right thing. Right.
You're a policeman. That's tough. Or a policewoman. You're a policewoman. That's tough.
It's not compliance, even though I have compliance people working for me.
Yeah.
It's more like I'm very knowledgeable about what needs to happen, and I want to make sure people are going in the right direction.
Right.
And I sometimes have to set the direction, right? And the thing is that that is very similar to being the difference between being a pianist and being an entertainer. They're very similar, right? A pianist can play the piano, and they may be just incredible on the piano, but are they a good entertainer? Are they having fun?
No, not necessarily. We know a lot of great accompanists, and that's why they're accompany people. You actually do both, because when you are at the piano, you are on, you are performing, and then you can jump up and grab a guitar and put as much passion into that as you do in the piano. Yeah. Then there's the singing that, the same force, the same power, the same passion is behind that. So that's a wonderful combination to have if you're looking to get a musical out there. That's how.
Because exactly. And to me, being a tech executive playing piano, you have a story to tell. You have an emotion. I communicate through emotions and stories, right? This is really important. Pay attention. So whatever. When you're playing the piano, you want to create dynamics. You are there. You are there. I'm feeling something. I want to say something. Right. And being a tech person with this creative side, I have the power to command people's attention because I'm a drama queen. Right. I'm like, all right, I want people to realize this is an existential threat to the company. Do you understand that?
I know that
I need to hear you say yes. Right?
Okay, but here, Maria, here's what's interesting about this. When you are at work, when
Yeah.
you are Mark, okay, when you are the dude that was invisible all the time, interesting that when you are working and you are not dressed like Maria, when you're just looking like Mark and there's no reason to pay attention to you, you get them to pay attention. How do you explain that?
Because that's how I just acted like that is how I actually talk at work.
Wow.
Right? I am a fucking drama queen, right? And people know if you don't fuck with me, right? Then I'm gonna be pretty mellow. But they know, and people always say to me, why do you have to be such an asshole? Why? Because I'm working in security. And if I'm not an asshole, you won't pay attention. Right? You know, it's like Alec Baldwin. You're all fired. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have your attention now? Right? Because cybersecurity and doing AI responsibly require discipline. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And this is literally the way I talk. It requires discipline, right? Because if you're not, because security is one, and cyber doing the good things with AI is something that is not obvious. If you fuck something up in cybersecurity, then people may not know for a year, and everybody's trying to cut corners. And I'm like, no, that is not going to happen, right? Right. And I was put in there because my boss knew that I would just tear into people because I'm like a knight holding a sword. I don't want to kill you. I don't even want to remove my sword from my sheath, but I'm going to show you how fucking sharp this is because I don't want you to fuck with me. Right? So that's how important this is.
I have to ask this. Do you have a lot of coworkers that are friends of yours?
Well, I don't have the only one who's a personal friend of mine is somebody who I hired through another friend. And she became a friend of mine. And she knows about it. No, they are not friends of mine. And the vast majority of them.
Nobody's looking to go out for drinks with a dude after work.
I know. Well, actually, I would say, first of all, I only act that way maybe 10% of the time.
It's still pretty heavy duty, you know?
It is, because people know. And the thing is, I'm working on a project right now. If it fails, it will cost the company a minimum of $1 billion.
No, I mean, somebody like you in a company is really what we say worth their salt to have, you know?
Oh yeah, they know it. And I say to them, and people, a lot of people understand it, right? They understand, they respect me. They say, God, most people work for me. They're like, you are such a fucking pain in the ass, but I have never learned so much from somebody. I'm so glad to be working for you because after a while, I'm not an asshole. Just don't be sloppy.
Don't be sloppy, right?
Because people will die if we don't do this right. Billions of dollars are going to get lost and people are going to die. Do you understand that? I am a drill sergeant. Don't make me do this.
I'm sitting here on my couch and I'm terrified. Maria Konner, we only have 2 minutes left. I don't know where the time goes with you, but even when I hang out at your house when you do your jam sessions, the time just goes so quickly. What can we expect to see in terms of Girl Shock going forward? We have 2 minutes left.
So the next step is to put it on at a local theater. Okay. Jax and I have to finish the script, so we may put on segments of it, probably coming sometime in the spring, maybe.
Okay.
We have a couple theaters where we might even have to do a Fringe Festival thing. I got to find out. But we might be doing like 10 or 15-minute vignettes, and so we're finishing the writing in segments. Like my favorite one.
That's what I was going to ask you. Your process. So in order to get something like this put up, you have to do the writing in segments because it's like a book proposal. You
get the outline down and you finish it in segments. And my favorite segment is my first trans hookup with the trans woman. And the song augments it. It's really great when you have this great scene and then you bust out into a song.
I love it. I think it's great. So, and then I imagine after you put up these 10-minute segments, you have to start looking for angels, people that are going to give you the money to do this thing.
Yeah. And to me, it's trans focused. But it really is about.
I have a lot of messages, and we didn't get to touch on it, but your political aspects, which people can go to Medium, Maria Konner, and read some really great articles. In my case, I had to read the sentences over and over again to get into her mind to connect the tech to politically what's going on in the world. It's a very incredible perspective to come at things from that definitely is how you think, Maria.
And I chair the technology working group for the
You
Upper East
too?
Side Democratic Party. Yes.
Right.
And we're
right.
working on AI innovation because regulation is going way too slow. Innovation. You don't like the way the AI is working right now? Then build one
I
that's going to work
agree.
for you. That nothing else will work.
I agree. It's kind of like the Epstein files. It's going way too slow. Let's move this thing along. They should put you in charge of that.
They want you to turn around. Remember, my job is to smell bullshit and go after criminals for a living. I can smell
Maria
bullshit
Konner.
from a while. They want you on the treadmill. Fuck that.
Right.
Innovation, create the world you want to create, and leave everybody. Just forget about all these
That's
other crazy
Get
shit
out
going
there.
on.
Do your
Yeah.
job. We are at time. I always take a couple of pictures before we say nighty night. So right to my camera.
Okay. Do I wave?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Oh, come on, camera. Cool. Maria, thank you. You're always a pleasure. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful Valentine's celebration.
Yeah.
Tell my girls hi from me. You know who they are. And
Yes, I do.
yes, and I was sorry that I missed your jam session because of the cold weather Saturday night.
First Saturday of every month, sit by the
Yep.
Steinway, you know,
Yep.
at my place. Great
Steinway, and
jam
everybody
session.
gets to perform. And
My
Bernice
grandfather's.
plays accordion, and it really is a lot of fun. Thank you, Maria Konner. Good luck with everything.
Okay.
Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. If you can come tomorrow night down to the Stonewall Monument, if you're listening to the show, it's from 4 to 7. Okay, they are going to resurrect the flag again.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night. Thank you, everybody.